Hello, guys. This is Lance Danger or Alvaro Cortez if you prefer it. This is me doing one last video for 2015. It's going to be like a mini year review slash final episode of the 100 Days of Making Comics. It took me a while to make the final video because honestly, it was very hectic the last few weeks, more specifically, the last week of the challenge. As many of you know, I had posted it in the hundreds group and I had posted it on my social media again as well. I had a small fracture in my hand, like right around the corner of the challenge. It was like, oh man. I was able to finish the challenge just writing out stories as best as I could on the laptop, but to be honest, I feel like I didn't complete it. To be honest, to an extent, I actually let that get to me a bit emotionally because up to that point I had been doing well and I was just about to finish it. I was planning on doing this grand thing for the final day, and I go and break my hand. you know, Things happen, sometimes, and especially with me, I always seem to get the short end of things, but, I just keep pushing forward. So it took me a while to finally get around to making the final video of this because I was in the process of my hand recovering as well as in the process of the finals in the this first semester at school. So it was just very hectic, very busy, and very emotionally draining to an extent because again, like, I had like this huge upwards momentum and suddenly it gets a bit cut short, and I feel, to be honest, a bit cheated that I couldn't finish the challenge the way I wanted to finish it. But the point of it is to finish it and do the best you can, and it's not all about the art in comics. So yeah, I was able to finish that, and hooray! This is the slash 100th video of the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. So I'd like to thank Kevin Cross and Peter Palmiotti, everyone that's been involved in this journey that have created and brought attention to this challenge. It was really great to be able to participate in it again. The first time I had tried to do it, I wasn't able to finish the challenge. Again, like a lot of stuff, a lot of personal stuff got in the way, and I wasn't able to do it as consistently as I wish I could. Not to mention that, again, I also had to go through a lot of physical things. Like some of you know, I had to have physical therapy for an old shoulder injury that had gotten worse, and I had to go through a couple of months of physical therapy for that. Like, luckily, I didn't need surgery for it. Like, it's an ailment I'm going to continue having because I don't know if I've mentioned it before on video. The tendons on my right shoulder, since I used to do a lot of sports in high school and when I was younger, and was very active. Um, the best way the doctor had described my tendon is that right now they're very frayed, the same way that jeans look like when they get frayed but not torn. That's how my my tendons are in my shoulder right now, and it has gotten better with the physical therapy. Every now and then, I'm going to have to keep doing it. Thankfully, there's no surgery required to this point. The best I can do is just take good care of myself whenever I try to do any physical activity and whatnot. And be mindful of my posture when I'm drawing and writing comics and all that good stuff. So, yeah, this has been a very interesting year, like going back to the year in review kind of sort of thing. Like, before my hand injury, this has been my most active year in a long time doing art and creating over the past year and part of last year as well. I finished a lot of web comics that had been lingering, like right in the middle of a season, so to speak, and I feel happy about that. I was finally able to finish chapter 21 of my main web comic, The Mighty Warlord, which has been in. It was stuck in that chapter for like maybe 3 years, maybe a little bit more, like in between all the things that had happened with the car accident back in Puerto Rico, moving from Puerto Rico to New York, all that adapt, all the adapting I've had to make, and opening new chapters in my own personal life. Like, it was very difficult to be able to finish it. And this year I finally got that monkey off my back. Chapter 22 is still midway through it. Hopefully next year I'll be able to upload again. I don't want to give an exact date because every time I have done that over the last couple of years, that's when everything that could go wrong happens. So I'll just like make a quick like announcement of when something gets uploaded and take it from there. I already have a couple of pages finished. Like, my goal for the first half of 2016 is, of course, to finish chapter 22 of Warlord and finish the Exorcist one shot that I've been doing as well. Like, I want to like take this little by little, um, from the minor or shorter web strips and web comics that I had done, like the Cannon Girl and Nevermind and the Spanish Wepamani Wepito. I was able to finish all three of those stories that were like right in the middle. So for 2016, I really want to finish the last minor web comic, which is Stupid the Cat. Yeah, like a more comedy, straightforward comedy strip I was doing, like a one panel, because I wanted to challenge myself to do one panel gag strips. So I've only done two so far that are published on Drunk Duck and my website and such. So I'm going to be doing more of those. Like, my goals with the mini strips, web comics is usually at the very least 12 updates every season, so to speak. So I have 10 more to go with those, I guess. So, again, the main goal for the first half is just keep pushing Warlord, advancing it, finish Exorcist, the Exorcist one shot that I'm doing, which is about halfway through. Finish Stupid the Cat. That sounds so awkward out of context, saying finish Stupid the Cat. Anyway, I got those. I also finished chapter one at last of my sci-fi horror psychological webcomic Delta Force 6. After years of stopping and going and stopping and going, and at one point actually remaking the whole chapter, up to that point when I had done a few pages, I was finally able to this year finish chapter one. That's big for me. So my goal once again is to finish a few chapters of Warlord in the first half of 2016, finish Exorcist in the first quarter, more or less, of 2016, finish Stupid the Cat in the first half of the 2016, and then in the second half of 2016, of course, I will be continuing with the web comic. Hopefully, I'll be either starting or midway through depending on how the updates go, into the final storyline of book two, which is something that I've been looking forward to for a very, very long time. Not just because I personally want, I personally kind of like this final storyline, but also because I'm just freaking tired of book two already. It's taken me way too long to finish, although a lot of the things were circumstances beyond my control. But it gets kind of tiresome after a while to just be meandering like, yeah, it's just around the corner. Anyway, yeah. So the second half, I want to at least be starting that final story arc of book two of the Mighty Warlord. I also want to finish the Clown miniseries, which has been kind of stuck in. Well, it's been stuck for a couple of years now in chapter two. It's a very short miniseries. It's 4 chapters long, and hopefully I'll be able to finish that. And after that, I'll be able to do a couple of one shots that I've been meaning to do as well after I finish that, and most likely in the second half after I've finished Stupid the Cat, I really want to explore Nevermind season 6. Nevermind is, as some of you know, most of you know, that's a more autobiographical strip. It was inspired by Tom Beeland's strips to True Story, Swear to God, the strip he did before he did the actual full comic version. So, Nevermind has always been one of those concepts that it's like whenever it ends, it's like, let's see if there's anything interesting that I remember from my past or something in the present that happened that was interesting, that would be like, that would make a interesting strip. So it's always kind of like on a season to season basis. So yeah, a lot of interesting things have happened. So I am going to do a season 6 of that. I'm also, of course, doing the remake of The Mighty Warlord. That's something I'm going to be doing all throughout the year. So I could do the printed version of it. Like, I had my doubts and reservations about doing a remake of the It's not necessarily a remake. It's just really pretty much redrawing everything from the beginning, because the artwork, of course, I feel was not up to how it could have been, and there are certain things about the story that I just really wanted to explore more, that I could have done better, or scenes that I left out because I I'm not the greatest editor and I'm not the greatest writer either. So there are things that I left out that I probably should have left in, and stuff that I left in that I should have taken out. So I'm going to be doing it like a slash remake, soft reboot on the printed edition. And the main reason I'm doing it is because, as I stated before, the original files and a lot of the original artwork from the first book of The Mighty Warlord and some of book two as well have been completely and utterly destroyed. Either by, again, like, things happen, like sometimes it's the wear and tear of time, not having the proper place to store them. A lot of it also got damaged in the floods that happened here in New York and in our room, and also with a lot of the artwork that has survived and the files that has survived are back in Puerto Rico, and I would have to go back to my mother's house to be able to get those files. I might do it at some point, but right now that's not like a big priority. My priority is to finally finish book two of Warlord and push out the revamped book one for the printed editions, because if I were to like download the images that are on Drug Duck, for example, of the webcomic, it's not going to look very good at all when it's printed into the actual comic book size. And not even with a manga size, because since those are very small image files, so it can be opened faster on the internet, it's the quality is going to be way downgraded if I print it out. And I respect readers too much like to just offer something like that. Like I try to hold myself to a bit of a standard at least, I guess, and I don't want to feel that I'm just ripping people off by sending out poor quality images sent out. Like if a book is going to cost anywhere between $3 to $5 depending on how I do it, maybe more if I decide to do it as manga sized volumes or trade paperbacks or something, like I'm going to give them their money's worth, you know. If it's even if it's just one person that buys it, I want that one person to have their money's worth um, of what they're buying. So hopefully I'll be able to push that out as well next year. And I am going to do another 100s challenge as well. Like I'm going to officially start it next week, as a matter of fact. So on Monday it will be day one of part three. Yeah, the trilogy is real, baby. Hopefully it'll be a flawless victory this time, unlike my first two times. The first one I didn't even finish it. The second one I limped across the finish line. Though I guess that's better than nothing. Even though to me I feel like I didn't, like I technically completed it, but in my heart I feel like I didn't. You know, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Hopefully, I'll take it one day at a time. Next week, I'm going to start uploading more consistently as well on the YouTube channel, since I have more of a strategy now. This year, I've been the most active I've ever been on the YouTube channel with the videos for my artwork, for my comics. For the first time, I did speed art as well, speed inking, speed painting, speed drawing, the 100 days videos as well. It's been very active. It's nice to see that quite a few people have been watching it. Like, I want to thank all the people explain some things, and I have to get a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera as well if I'm going to keep doing this, because as most of you know, I'm pretty shy and reserved in many aspects. So I guess this is kind of a good way to break out of my shell in a way. And yes, I put my creativity out into the world. And I guess that's the parting words I want to have for this channel for 2015. And it's just that, to yes, get out there and do it. Yes, create, you know. I had mentioned in my podcast last year, and it was brought up again by somebody else this year. Like when I was talking about drawing and doing art, like when you were a child and you didn't have a care in the world, and you would just pick up your crayon and create. I just want you guys to do that if you're into this creative aspect or just in life in general. Just be happy with who you are. And if you're not content with who you are right now, then try to identify what's getting in your way and just, deal with it at your own pace, deal with it in your own way. And you'll be able to make it step by step, little by little. In the creative aspect, like, yes, pick up your pen, pick up your tablet, your laptop, pencils, whatever medium you're doing. Don't let anybody ever talk down to you because of whatever genre or whatever art style you're doing. Just get out there and do it. Like it's your work and you have to put it out there. You work hard for it, whether it be a hobby thing or whether it's your career. Just creatively express yourself honestly and everything will fall into place. And that's pretty much what I want to um, tell you right now. And I just want to say very briefly what my brief goal for 2016 is creatively. It's something I picked up from Roberto Blake's YouTube channel. He is a graphic designer and he has outstanding videos. You can search his channel Roberto Blake on YouTube. It's really good. Like when I have a chance, I'll either make an annotation to his channel or I'll put the link down below in the description. But it's if you're into graphic art or art in general, like it's a really great channel to check out. And one of the goals that I want to take from one of the emails he sent out for his group letter, and one of the, I believe it came from the PDF file from that you get for subscribing to his newsletter. This year I want to focus on 2016. I want to focus on creativity, consistency, and context, and that's something that's actually really simple in a way, but it's one of those things that it's so simple that it's brilliant and that you really don't think about it. And to be able to push forward, you need to have consistency and context in that creativity. Like not just create something unfocused. Again, that's depending on what you want to do. If you want to like do something that, excuse me, that's something that's more here and there, unfocused. What like whatever moves your creativity, do that. But for me personally, I just want to focus on creativity, consistency, and context. Especially since I am the writer and pretty much editor on everything that I'm doing. So I'm pretty much a one man band, no relation to Heath Slater from the WWE. God, that was terrible. But anyway, yeah. Let's go Mets. Yes, I'm wearing the Mets blue. Most of you that follow me on Facebook and Twitter know I've always been a long-suffering Mets fan. So it's a good way to end this year, this video of the 100 days of making comics and many. Well, not so many. It's almost 25 minutes long, the video now, but you know, just like the Mets rose from the ashes this season to make it all the way to the World Series for the first time since 2000, I rose from the ashes of my self doubt and many of the circumstances surrounding me to complete many things this year, which I am very grateful for. And hopefully next year will be better. I don't know if it'll be better for the Mets. Honestly, I'm happy they even made it to the World Series at all. And hopefully next year I will be able to rise up and grab that brass ring for myself in terms of my creativity and my comics and my projects. I have other projects under my sleeve that I'll be slowly announcing throughout the year. Um, yes, like next week I start winter courses at school, and I'm going to start my third try at the 100 Days of Making Comics. You heard it here first. Um, I'm going to try to steer clear of breaking or injuring any other parts of me. And if it happens, it happens, but know that I'll always give my best. Well, this has been an interesting year. I hope it's been an interesting, in a good way, year for all of you. And for 2016, I wish you all the best of luck, success, health, love, all that good stuff. Thank you for your support throughout this year and the past years. And let's all work together to just have a flawless 2016.